Hi friends, in last class we discussed about the what is meant by linear IC applications and how we are going to fabricate the integrated circuits like ICs and what are the technologies we are going to use to develop that type of ICs and what are the advantages and disadvantages by using those ICs. And today's class we are going to discuss about the differential amplifier. First of all, what is meant by an amplifier? Amplifier is nothing but which amplifies the weak signal to a strong signal, or which amplifies the weak signal to, or which strengthen the weak signal to a required strong signal. That is nothing but amplifier. And now coming to differential amplifier. Differential amplifier is nothing but, in the first point we discussed about the differential amplifier. So the differential amplifier amplifies the difference between two input signals V in 1 and V in 2. Hence it is also referred as difference amplifier. That means in this we are going to use the two types of amplifiers. For those we are going to give the two types of inputs, V in 1 and V in 2. And here by using those two inputs we are going to find out the difference of those two inputs. Hence it is called as difference amplifier. So in the name itself, the differential amplifier amplifies the difference between two input signals V in 1 and V in 2. Hence it is also referred as differential amplifier. So it is the circuit diagram for two differential amplifiers. First one is we are going to use the transistor Q1, and at the same time the second circuit also we are going to use the same type of transistors. That means whatever the components we are going to use in the first circuit, that should be equal, the same type of components should be used in the second type of circuits also. Next, let us consider the emitter biased circuit. It shows two identical emitter biased circuits. In the transistors Q1 has the same characteristics as transistor Q2. RE1 is equals to RE2, RC1 is equals to RC2, and the magnitudes of plus VCC is equals to the magnitude of minus VE. These two voltages are measured with respect to the ground. So previously we said that we are going to use the same components, whatever we are going to use the first circuit, that should be equal to the second circuit also. That's why here, for example, if we are going to use the transistor Q1 as a BJT, then we need to use the transistor Q2 also as a BJT. And if we are going to use the resistor RC1 as 10 kilo ohms, then we need to use the RC2 is also a 10 kilo ohms. Like that, we need to use the same type of components for each and every emitter biased circuits. Next, to obtain a single circuit, we should reconnect these two circuits as follows. So here we are going to use the two emitter biased circuits, but we need to connect these two circuits into a single circuit. So if you want to connect it to a single circuit, then we need to follow some rules and regulations. What are those? First one is reconnect plus VCC supply voltages of the two circuits since the voltages of the same polarity and amplitude. Similarly, reconnect minus VE is the supply voltages. Here we need to use the two power supplies for the two circuits, but we need to connect those two power supply into a single VCC. Why? Because the same power supply we need to use for those two circuits. That's why we need to connect those two circuits into a single circuit, and at the same time negative VEA also. Next, to reconnect the emitter E1 of transistor Q1 to the emitter E2 of transistor Q2, and at the same time the above two circuits we need to use the two emitter resistors are also equal. That's why we need to replace, instead of RE1 and RE2 we need to use the RE. Input signal Vin is applied to the base B1 of transistor Q1 and Vin to apply it to the base B2 of the transistor Q2. So it is important point. But in this diagram we didn't apply any input signals for base B1 and base B2. But here we need to add two input signals. V in 1 is applied to the base B1 of transistor Q1 and V in 2 is applied to the base B2 of transistor Q2. Next, so by reconnecting those two circuits into a single circuit, the circuit diagram will be like this. So first, the same polarities Q1 and Q2 are equal, and RE1 and RE2 will be equals to RE. So that's why RE is equals to RE1 parallel with RE2, and here the collector resistance should be equal, RC and RC, and VCC plus VCC, and at the same time minus VE. Why? Because the polarities of the two emitter biased circuits are equal. That's why we need to reconnect those two. And here if we observe that at base B1 we need to connect the input voltages V in 1, and at the same time input voltages at B2 is V in 2. So it is the differential amplifier circuit using the two emitter biased circuits. Yeah, finally if we observe, label the voltage between two collectors C1 and C2 as V0. So here it is important point, C1 and C2. In between C1 and C2 we need to measure the output voltage. We need to apply the input voltage in between the two bases B1 and B2, and we need to measure the output voltage at the in between the collectors. So if we measure the output voltage in between two collectors, then that is nothing but balanced output. But if we measure the output voltage only single collector circuit, then we call it as unbalanced output. So here differential amplifier circuit configurations. Here how many types of differential amplifiers are there? The 4 differential amplifier configurations as follows. First one is dual input balanced output differential amplifier, dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier, single input balanced output differential amplifier, single input unbalanced output differential amplifier. So in the first one, dual input balanced output. Dual input is nothing but, in previous diagram we need to apply the two inputs to the two base terminals. That's why it is the dual input. And balanced output is nothing but, previously we said that if we measure the output voltage in between the two collector terminals, then that is nothing but balanced output. So this circuit will be acts as a dual input dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Next, dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier is nothing but, here whatever the input supplied in the previous one, the same thing will be applied here also. So that is nothing but, dual input is nothing but the two inputs should be applied to the two base terminals, and unbalanced output is nothing but, we need to measure the output voltage across the only one collector. But previously we measure the output in between two collectors, but here we need to measure the output across the single collector terminal. That is nothing but unbalanced output differential amplifier. Next, single input balanced output differential amplifier. Single input means we need to apply the input signal to any one of the base terminals. That means the other terminal will be treated as ground. So single input is nothing but, we need to apply only one input terminal to the one base terminal, and balanced output is nothing but, we need to measure the output across the two collector terminals, then that is nothing but balanced output differential amplifier. And finally, single input unbalanced output differential amplifier. Single input is nothing but, previously we are going to apply the only single input to the one base terminal, that is either B1 or B2, and unbalanced is nothing but, we measure the output terminal also across the single collector terminal. That's why it is nothing but single input unbalanced output differential amplifier. So these 4 are the types of differential amplifier configurations. So the same thing will be discussed here also. These are defined by the number of input signals used and the way an output voltage is measured. If we use two input signals, the configuration is said to be dual input, otherwise it is a single input configuration. If the output voltage is measured between two collectors, it is referred to as a balanced output. If the output is measured at one of the collectors with respect to ground, the configuration is called as unbalanced output. Two matched semiconductors of the same types, BJT or FET, are required for the differential amplifier. The two circuits must be matched in all respects for proper operation, and magnitudes of supply voltages plus VCC and minus VE must be equal. So previously we discussed that at the time of emitter biased circuit also, we need to maintain the same type of configuration, same type of components should be used for both the circuits. Like if you are going to use the transistor as a BJT in first circuit, the same type of BJT will be used in the second circuit also. If you want to use the 10 kilo ohms resistor in the first circuit, the same type of the same 10 kilo ohms resistor should be used in the second circuit also. And if you use the plus 5 volts in the first circuit, the same plus 5 volts should be used in the second circuit also. Like that, the same similarities whatever we are going to use in the first circuit, that should be used in the second circuit also. Next one, the differential amplifier is capable of amplifying DC as well as AC input signals because of direct connection between stages. It removes lower cutoff frequency imposed by the coupling capacitors. So by using this differential amplifier, we have a capability of amplifying either DC signal as well as the AC signal because of either the direct connection between stages. It removes lower cutoff frequency imposed by the coupling capacitors. In instrumentation systems, differential amplifiers are widely used to compare two input signals. So where we are going to use these differential amplifiers are, it is used in the instrumentation system to compare the two input signals. In this analysis, we are going to use the R parameters instead of H parameters. Why? Because in H parameters the derivation part is very difficult when compared to the R parameters. That's why here we need to use the R parameters instead of H parameters. The H parameters we are already learned about the H parameters in previous years like EDC and ECA, but in this we need to discuss about the R parameters instead of H parameters. In AC analysis of differential amplifiers, R parameters is simpler and more straightforward. There is no need to maintain the R parameters at different operating levels except for RE value. So here we know there is no need to manipulate the R parameters at different operating levels except for RE values. The equation obtained are easy to remember. So that is nothing but introduction about the differential amplifier and what are the types of differential amplifier we are going to be used. Here totally 4 types of differential amplifiers are there. Those are dual input balanced output, dual input unbalanced output, single input balanced output and a single input unbalanced output. Dual input is nothing but we need to connect the two input signal to the two base terminals. Balanced output is nothing but we need to measure the output across the two collector terminals. Single input is nothing but we applying the input terminals to the only one base terminal with respect to the ground to the second base terminal. And unbalanced output is nothing but we need to measure the output voltage across the only one collector terminal. So that is nothing but types of differential amplifiers. Next, go for first one, dual input balanced output differential amplifier. So in this dual input balanced output is nothing but we need to apply the two input terminals to the two base terminals and we need to measure the output across the two collectors. That is nothing but balanced output. And in these 4 configurations we need to find out the DC analysis as well as the AC analysis. So that will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.